Coach Deborah has a passion and purpose to assist young men, ages 15 to 24, to overcome obstacles and build their best lives. She wants to see every young man live out their potential. She has a master's degree in human services counseling, with a major in life coaching. More importantly, she is the mother of 3 boys, who are exceptional, educated, professional men. Coach Deborah believes it is better to train early, rather than need to fix later. She utilizes basic principles and God-led concepts. Sometimes the only thing a young man has is their credibility or their name. The actions they take are based on the decisions they make. Those decisions align with their choices and result in consequences. Coach Deborah can assist you if you are lost, floundering, or confused. Embrace the help and start building your best life today.
Good evening and welcome to Blueprint for Success. We are super excited to have you here with us today. Good evening, Brittany. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me back.
I'm wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We appreciate you coming on today because we know you could have been anywhere else, but I would just like to thank you so much for your support to build your best life, because without you, your likes, shares, and comments, we would not have the audience that we have today. And it is important for us to have as many people engaged as possible so we can get the word out all over the world that we are here to encourage our mothers with sons, and also to show those young men that they can overcome obstacles and build their best lives. So thank you also very, very much. And Brittany, as a mom with a little boy, we thank you so much for taking the time to be on here with us today. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's always a great time being on here, and I'm so grateful that you've invited me to be here tonight.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I know you've been here before, but I'm sure we may have some new people on. So could you tell everybody about yourself?
Okay. I'm a single mom, as you said. I have a toddler. He's almost 4. I guess I could say that now, since he'll be 4 in June. He's a funny little crazy boy, and we love spending time with him. And we're just, we've got an army of people to help us raise him the right way. And we do some animal rescue work, and yeah, we just try to be active in our community and raise him as we should. And he loves to go to church. So he's great.
That's awesome. Love it. And I've seen him a couple times. He is cute as a button.
Yes, you have.
Yes. So today, Brittany and I are going to be, our topic is princess dreams. Princess dreams. And you know that a lot of little girls love to play house, and they have their dolls. They may dream of the life that they will have as adults. Many of these dreams may include a Prince Charming, a dream home, that beautiful car. They may even think of, depending on their surroundings, being a stay-at-home mom. They may play with the dolls and think about the little kids that they will have one day. The dreams are also the dreams that most fathers desire for their little girls. They want their little girls to have these perfect worlds. But not everyone comes up in those circumstances. You know, my life kind of started a little rough, so I didn't always have those princess dreams. It was started in a rough place, and it got better when my mom took me. And I call my adoptive mom my mom when she took me. And then she became a single mom. So we had some rough times. So everyone does not have the princess dreams. But we're going to kind of talk about that today, because just like, because we're talking about, you know, those having those blueprints, and then you have those derails. And then what do you do when you have those derails? So you have to know in life, regardless of what you hope for, you wish for, you pray for, sometimes they just don't play out. So Brittany, as a little girl, what were some of your princess dreams or other dreams that you had about when you would come into, I guess, teenage years, and then as an adult? What were those years like, and hoping that dreams would come true?
Well, like we talked about briefly before the show started, I didn't have the easiest upbringing either. And I think in the beginning, I just started out wanting to just be better than the environment that I was raised in. And then once I started to value myself, I really, like, I guess I could say that my princess dream was I wanted to be a teacher initially, and I really just wanted to be in a situation where I could help people and help people not go through the same instances that I went through. And I could say that there is no reality where I thought that when I was thinking of that when I was younger, that the path that I took would actually bring me to being able to do that, but it has.
Awesome. So, you know, that's just another example of, you know, sometimes we start in a certain place, and a lot of people give up and they think, oh, this is where I have to end. But just as I stated earlier, and Brittany has stated, you don't always have to end up where you start, and vice versa. So that's one thing that we should always, you know, think about.
Absolutely. I think if I think my, I guess, princess version of, you know, growing up wanting to help people was that I would get married early on and have kids and, you know, have like the white picket fence life. And that didn't happen for me, but I can't say that I'm unhappy with how my life is now. And I've helped more people than I probably could have if that scenario had played out.
That's right. So it's just, you know, amazing. You know, this year also we are talking about reassuring everyone about Jeremiah 29:11. So, you know, it's the plans that God has for us. And, you know, it's amazing when those plans are the ones that we live through, how it turns out. So you're doing more now than you probably would have before.
Yep.
So That's because it's God's plan for your life. So that's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So once you were old enough to design your blueprint for success and how you want it, I know you talk about, the mission work and the things that y'all do, but you had aspirations for your life. So how has your life measured up to your plans? You kind of alluded to it a little bit, but maybe you can tell us a little bit more.
So honestly, I can say that it wasn't until last year that I really learned how to prioritize. Because well, let me back up. They talk about in church, um, write the vision and make it plain, but I didn't know how to do that. I knew what my heart of hearts, what I wanted, but I would get paralyzed and frozen, and I didn't know how to make those things happen. I would latch on to anyone who was doing anything kind of like what I wanted to do and try to copy them. But it wasn't until last fall that I learned how to, write down the things that I wanted to do, write down the steps of the things that I wanted to do, go through all of my habits and change the ones that were hindering me, and um, develop habits that were actually beneficial to my life. And it took a lot of baby steps for me to get to a point where I was like, I felt like I was like on the right track and making our lives better.
It's good. So as I mentioned kind of earlier, trouble can hit us at any time. And, you can be going along a path where your life is 100% and you think everything's just perfect. It can be at 80%, 40%, but no matter how far you are, and how far you fall, you still have purpose. You still have gifts that you're given. And hopefully there's someone there that has your back. So please tell us why plans don't always work out the way we want them to, in your opinion.
I would say the number one reason that plans don't work out the way we want them to is because we are trying to do it our way and not God's way. The more often than not, when I have tried to set up a plan and, boom, 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 execute it my way, it's gone totally wrong. And if I had just sat and listened to the Holy Spirit and waited for them to tell me to move or to act, then it could have gone a lot more smoothly and happened a lot faster. But I took the long way around. I went around the mountain instead of over it.
Yeah, we tend to do that a lot, and I guess Jeremiah 29:11, I keep thinking about that, because we come up with these things and we think sometimes we'll talk ourselves into thinking that, yeah, that's what God wants of me. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. And we go out and we try to do it and it doesn't work out. And, and then when you sit and you do take the time to meditate, talk with him, and ask him, like, hey, I've tried it to do it my way. Things not going right. I'm going to settle down. I'm going to listen. Because I know if you give me a purpose and a plan, you're going to give me the gifts and the talents to go along with that. So I'm going to have a far better chance of it working out. And I'm pretty sure, Yvonne, that you would agree to that. When he's in the plans, it's going to work out a whole lot better.
I think sometimes too, we pray for a next direction, and then God gives us a direction or gives us an idea of how, like, a new vision for our life, and instead of asking him how to execute the vision, we just say, oh, he's told me to be a teacher, and we just run with it and do it our way. And the whole entire process is waiting for God to tell you how to move and when to move, and we're not patient people.
That's right. That is, you said a mouthful right then. We just got to have that microwave everything. So we're not going to take the time to, well, we heard him say teacher, but we listen, the teacher of what?
Right.
Yeah. So that is it. That is so right. So right. So right. So right. Um, so what are some fundamental principles to follow as you plan your future, do you think?
The most effective things for me is, of course, to pray. Then I spend extensive time, praying and fasting and writing down um, visions and goals of how I want the next period of my life to go. And then I write down all of my habits, all of my current habits, and I compare those with my visions and goals and determine if my current habits match up with a path forward to achieve those visions and goals. And if they don't, then I write down the ones that habits I need to be practicing to achieve them. And I just one by one, I switch out the negative habits for a positive habit and consistently execute them over time. And I get to where I'm going, what I'm trying to achieve.
Okay, I like that concept. Listening to that, can you give us an example of one, maybe?
Do you mean habits or visions and goals?
Well, like like something that you wrote down, and you said you pray about it, write down your vision and goals, then your habits, and you said if they don't match up. So,
So, for instance, I am part of a church who is about to turn 2 years old. And one of my goals when I joined the church was to work in the children's ministry. But that requires a lot of discipline for me and also for my son, because we have to be at church at 6:45 on Sunday mornings. And that means getting up earlier, and instead of scrambling to get him dressed or find clothes for him, I set them out the night before so that we can have a very smooth. We get up, we eat breakfast, we change or get dressed, we go to church, and then it also helps to establish our mood for the rest of the week, because then he can come home and take a nap, and everything is, granted, it doesn't always go to plan, but it does help to have a layout and those habits established so that I am able to, especially more so for him than for me, to able to execute the day effectively so that he has a smoother day. Than I think for toddlers, it's harder when you're scrambling to make things happen for them.
right. Right. Okay. And I love Yvonne says quoting Romans 8:25. But if we hope for what we do not yet have, we wait for it. What is that? Patiently? Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Yvonne, for that. That's important. But yeah, that makes a great difference. I like that, the planning the day before. Like I had kind of like an emergency this morning. For whatever reason, my alarm clock, I don't know if it didn't go off or whatever, but I couldn't hear it. We didn't hear it. And so it put me like an hour behind. So I wasn't dressed. And then my husband and I had our prayer time. And then I picked up my phone and I looked at it, and my daughter-in-law had called me, and I was like, didn't hear the phone ring. And so for her to call me, I knew it was something, and I needed to go pick up my granddaughter. But luckily, even though I was not dressed, I always get my clothes up, what I'm going to wear. the night before. So I knew I didn't have to think, oh, what am I going to put on that? So I could do it, a little bit more calmly because I had quite a way to go to pick up my granddaughter. So, but when you make you form habits and follow them and do things, it can make your life more easier.
Absolutely. I could say the same thing about I started exercising more regularly last year, and having that established in my day also helped, not just for physical benefits, but for mental benefits and um, social benefits. But it was, I had to drop a habit of watching as much TV or doing as much social media scrolling as I normally do to be able to fit that into my schedule.
All right. Yep. Now I can watch some TV, but that TV can take us some time. So anytime you ever need to, find some time, that's a good place to find some.
Yep.
Okay. Well, as I was thinking about our topic for this month and not letting derails delay your success. And I was doing statistics, trying to come up with different topics. I looked up some information about kids and single moms and stuff like that. And what I found was, it says, according to the 2020 through 2022 data in Kids Count Data Center, 23% of U.S. female-headed families reported receiving any amount of child support. So that means most people don't get any support, and which that was a 26%. It was 26% during the previous period of time. So it's going down instead of going up. So our single mothers are getting less assistance. It also said in the 2022 census that 10.9 million one-parent families with children under 18, 80% are headed by mothers. So
wow.
Yes, a lot, isn't it? Yeah, out of 10.9 million single family homes, and then 80% are headed by mothers. And we want our mothers to know, like Build Your Best Life, I want those young men to succeed. But the true reality of it is that most of those young men that we're trying to save are being raised by single mothers. And so we know that means that we have to encourage those single mothers. We have to give them some tips on how they can better, go day by day to find someone to assist them when they need assistance. Don't, feel afraid that, well, I just got to stay in this bubble. Me and my children can only do this because I have no assistance. There are people that are friendly. Of course, you have to investigate and know who those people are that you're going to allow in your children's lives. But there are people there and they are willing to assist. And so we have to encourage our mothers. And I've been there as well. I haven't always been married. I was a single mom. My oldest son, I raised him by myself. And so, I know how it is, when you do the best that you can, and sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen the next day. So we want to encourage everyone out there. I know those statistics weren't, all fluffy and everything, but the truth is what we need to know. And we can only do more and be better when we're working with true facts. And so we know from those numbers that we need to, reach out. So when I say I appreciate you liking and sharing with others, I mean that, because you need to share so we can get more of our mothers that are trying to raise their sons by themselves on here so they can get information, know that someone has their backs, know that someone's praying for them every day, So that's one reason why I wanted to mention those. So, Brittany, can you please give everyone some tips on being a successful single mom? Because I think you're successful. I don't know how you feel, but I think you're a successful mom,
Thank you.
and why it is vital to stay positive as mothers with son, working on building your best life.
Well, I don't know for anyone else. Well, our good friend Ricardo, one thing that he says often is someone is designed to help you. So even if you feel like you need to tough it out and you need to do it on your own, someone is designed to help you. So find someone in your church, or even if it's just one person, even if it's, you know, someone that lives 3 states away, even if it's just a pen pal, talk to them regularly, communicate with them. And
Mhm.
one of the hardest things that I learned as a single mom was to be vulnerable. I think that so much of society teaches men in a way, but also um, women that, we just have to tough it out and do it on our own. And I think we also go through some negative experiences with men. So we think that, because of those things, we're not going to ask anybody for help. We're not going to trust anyone. We're just going to do everything on our own. But someone is designed to help you. And um, shout out to Ricardo, because I say that every day. um, and you just have to take the difficult and vulnerable step forward and ask someone for help. Or even if it's just not even saying I need help, is saying I'm having a really tough day. Can you just talk to me or just listen to me? Also establishing a really strong routine and schedule, even if, part of it is we've got 3 free hours on a Friday afternoon, just putting free time in there and filling that free time as things come along. But sticking to a strong routine and habit. And also, one of the things that has really helped me is to speak encouraging words about myself or over myself, like I did it, or we did it, when I'm with my son.
Mhm.
Not that he doesn't see some of the bad times, but that he knows when the bad times come along, we can make it through them. Um, just, and one of the hardest things that I've experienced as a single mom is someone at a daycare told him that he was a bad boy. And he's not a bad boy, he's a toddler. So we strive very hard to teach him that sometimes we make bad decisions and it's okay. And what the right decision is and how we correct it and move on. Because even though it's easy to dwell on the bad things that happen, teaching him that we can move on, I think really helps establish a good foundation for them for the future.
That's good. I love it. So those are, really, really good. And I love, I love the last one. And I love that explained to him, that he's not a bad boy.
Not
I
a
don't
bad
know why
boy.
people seem to forget a 3-year old is a 3-year old. And it's like, can you talk to your mom and ask her how were you acting when you were that age?
Right.
There are only certain things that they know. They have to grow and learn things. We have to teach them things. And a 2-year-old is going to act like a 2-year-old. If they don't, something's wrong then. And boys are going to act like boys. Boys are not going to act like little girls either. So, people need to, think about that. So, no. And we have to encourage our kids no matter what they're going through or whatever, when they're going out that door or before they walk in that classroom, I love you. God made you special. And you're going to have a great day today because you are so smart.
Yep.
And people say, well, what? Because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to encourage them, give them that affirmation. You don't know what they're going to get, you try to find the best place for them, but you never know what they're going to get in a day. So you have to fuel them up, like, refuel ourselves up and get ready and do our meditations with God. So we're working on a full tank. We got to make them be on a full tank when they start their days too.
Yep.
Yeah. So I love that. Speaking those encouraging words. And what was something else you said about establishing routines?
Yes, we have a very strong routine, a very almost strict schedule in some ways that we maintain to make his life easier and in the end, our lives easier.
Yeah. And then having that person to assist you and knowing that there's someone there, you got your back, you have your back. And like, now I'm here in Florida, but I'm just text message, phone call away. Deborah,
Yep.
This is what I need.
Yep.
I need you to pray for me. I need you to do blah, 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 blah. I need you to send a letter to this person saying da, 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 da. I'm here.
Absolutely.
Yes. And we can do that. So as long as we can do those things and work together and pray for each other, we can make this. I know it's so funny every day. I think last year I started out every morning, I would say 5 things I'm grateful for. But this year I'm doing 3. And it seems like peace comes up just about almost every day. And I'm like, oh, why do I do that? I guess because there is so much going on in the world. So if those people that we speak with, we communicate with, if we can make sure that we are being genuine and loving and peaceful with the people that we are around, it can spread more maybe.
Yeah. Something that I learned early on is you never know what anyone is going through. And if I encounter someone who's having a bad day, I try to, or maybe not being very nice, I try to pray for them because maybe I'll never see that person again. But
Right.
I only have one chance to positively impact their day. And that helps me a lot because if I'm thinking in that manner, then I'm less likely to be snappy or impatient or frustrated with someone. Everybody just needs a helping hand.
That's right. And like you say, nobody ever knows, excuse me, what someone else is going through, and, they may snap at you or whatever, and you okay, and just smile and you're on your way, or, so bless you, hope you enjoy the rest of your day or whatever. It can make a world of difference.
Absolutely.
Yes. Let's see. Yvonne says, encourage, and continue to encourage our children every day. Yes. Thank you, Yvonne. Yvonne works in our children's ministry at our church, but she is a sweetheart. But yes, we have to encourage our children and parents, please, please, please. Because I know sometimes you may be going through something and, your mind is on, oh, my goodness, I don't know how I'm going to pay the mortgage. I don't know how I'm going to pay this. And then your child says something and you snap at them. We have to learn how to breathe. I know it. And I'm not saying, because you say, well, she's sitting there, she don't know. Yes, I've been there, done that. So I know it's not always easy. But we have to stop and breathe. And our children, God has loaned them to us to take care of them. So we have to put them in their little bubble sometimes. So we can't always let them know everything that's going on. So they're not the ones for us to snap at. So if you got to walk out of the room, count to 10 and come back or whatever, you got to continue to encourage them, smile at them. Hey, sweetie, it's okay. Because you never know.
I totally agree.
Awesome. So I have enjoyed this today. I hope you did as well, Brittany.
I did. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, yes. I love it when you can come on. And so maybe you can join us on some of our, and you're probably busy on Saturdays, but maybe on some Saturday we planning out that you can join us on one of our Chucks for Pearls and Earls. We do that quarterly. So I have to tell you a little bit more about that.
Okay. Love to.
Yes. But thank everyone for tuning in. We know that everyone is busy. You could have been doing anything else. So we really appreciate you taking the time to tune in. Make sure you check out my website, www.buildyourbestlife.org. Read those blogs. Check out the calendar of events. Our first major event is coming up in May. I cannot wait. It's our Mothers and Sons seminar. And it's just, I just can't wait every year. I love it. So we have some dynamite speakers on again this year. So stay tuned for that. Make sure that you tune in Thursday. What is my topic Thursday? Thursday live, when the behavior tanks, shift gears. When the behavior tanks, shift gears. So before I close out, Brittany, did you think of anything that you want to say before we go?
No, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. It's always great to be on here with you.
All right. Thank you so much. So yes, so make sure you tune in Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Thursday Live. And this year, Build Your Best Life is declaring Jeremiah 29:11 over all of your lives. Know the plans that God has for you, because he wants you to do what? Have prosperity, not disaster. And he wants you to have a future that you hope for. So make sure that you write those blueprints for success based on the plans that God has for you. Follow them, and then build your best life. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan. It's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. Tell Remy I said hello. Miss Deborah said hello. And I'll see you next time. All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Love you.